So in the last video we found this Honda Prelude and took home the driver's seat to complete our interior. Hello and welcome, my name is Kevin, and if y'all are new here, welcome to the series where I built this Honda Civic using only parts that I find at the junkyard. Guys, it's day 6 and we're finally back at the junkyard. Yay! I was gone for an entire month because I was stuck at home working on this thing right here. I'm gonna release a video on it pretty soon, but now that I'm done with it, I can finally focus on the junkyard Civic. So let's get right back to it and start looking for some cool parts. We're at a local junkyard that's pretty popular in the area. This is actually the yard that I found a blue turbo 280ZX. You can watch the walk around of that car in one of my previous videos that I made. But let's go ahead and find the car that we're actually here for. Oh! And check it out, guys. As we were walking through the junkyard, I found this Acura TSX here and just had to check it out. It's not in the worst condition ever, but why the heck is this thing so freaking muddy? It's like they took it off-roading with the windows fully down. But whatever, man. Despite the mess, it's still a complete car, so let's go ahead and see if it has what we want on the inside. Bam! Check it out, y'all. We've got a TSX steering wheel and this thing looks oh so clean. Now to be honest with you guys, I'm not even sure if this fits inside of an EK Civic. I've never seen it be done before, but I'm willing to take the risk and experiment for you guys so that y'all don't have to waste money trying to fit this onto your Civic. But yeah, let's go ahead and start the procedure of getting the steering wheel off. It should be really simple because all we're doing is just taking off a few bolts. But first thing you want to do is grab you a flathead so you can pry off this little plastic cover, which exposes some of the plugs that need to be taken off. And just a reminder, I am taking this from a junkyard car, which has no battery inside of it, so as of right now, there's no risk of the airbag deploying right in my face. And so once you're able to unplug that yellow clip, we're going to move along and take off these bolts that are holding the airbag in. And these bad boys actually require a special tool in order for them to be taken off, which is a T30 Torx bit. I went ahead and bought a complete set that attaches to my socket wrench, so make sure you have that tool before even attempting this. And this right here is what that screw looks like. It kind of has a star shape to it. Alright, now we're just going to reach around and take that second one off. And make sure you don't lose any of the hardware that you take off, because you'll definitely be reusing them when you reinstall the steering wheel. And here we go, the airbag's just about ready to come out. The only thing that's holding it in right now is this plug for the horn. So pull that sucker off and the airbag is finally free. You know, for this car being in a car crash, I'm surprised the airbag didn't go off. Because clearly, as you can see here, these deployed. I'm just gonna hope that this isn't defective because I definitely want an airbag in my car. But yeah guys, now we just gotta tackle the center bolt that's holding in this entire steering wheel. All you'll be needing is a 14mm socket and some strong muscles to break this bolt loose. So I hope y'all have been hitting your reps at the gym lately, because this is one tough nut to crack. But as we can see here, clearly I've been skipping a few days, but luckily I have here with me is my handy dandy breaker bar. This thing is such an essential tool, it honestly goes everywhere with me in case I ever need to break a bolt or beat some ass. This tool is just perfect. Alright guys, final step, all we gotta do is just yank this thing off. And like I said before, a gym membership definitely helps with this, because in order to take this motherfucker off, you gotta be big, strong muscle man. By the way, if you own a TSX and decide to take your steering wheel off, be careful when doing this because your clock spring might fly out. So just a fair warning. Let's just put that right back there. Woo! Look at that, y'all. We just got a TSX steering wheel for our junkyard Civic. I've never really seen anyone throw one of these into an EK Civic, so I'm pretty curious to how this would look inside of that. I'm not really a fan of all these buttons, but we're just gonna see how this looks. Let's go ahead and get this home and install it in our Civic. And just like always, let's pay our respects to the car gods for blessing us with our new part. Man, one thing I hate about this yard is it's always so goddamn muddy out here. Yo, like take a look at this car right here. This thing is caked in mud. Did they take this thing to a rally course before taking it to a junkyard? Man, it's even all up in the inside. I would just hate to find an interior piece that I've been looking for all covered up in mud. And before leaving the yard, I noticed this Civic sitting here in the corner, and really quick I just wanted to see how it would look first before fully committing to this steering wheel. And take a look at what I found before leaving the junkyard. I don't know if it's anything special, but if you guys know what make and model this is, comment down below and let me know. Alright guys, it's a little dirty, but I think I'm just gonna clean it up with some, I don't know, some soapy water. It's got some mud prints on there. Yeah, I don't know why that yard is so muddy, but I'm really curious to see how this looks inside of the Civic. Now, if you follow my Instagram, you guys know that I was actually searching for a Honda Fit steering wheel. I haven't found anything good so far, so we're just gonna settle for this. So one of the main reasons why I was looking for a new steering wheel is that I actually really like this tri-spoke design. It makes it kind of feel like a race car. I'll show y'all. But really, I was looking for an upgrade to make the car feel a bit more modern. Hold up. I'm about to be in this bitch staring like a boat or something. Nah, that's crazy. Oh, you know what it is? It's just the camera perspective. Yeah, side-by-side comparison, I think they're actually the same size. Alright, so before we get to work, let's go ahead and give this thing a nice scrub-it-up dub and get it all nice and clean. To clean it up, I'm just using some warm soapy water and one of my sister's old shirts. And with that, this thing looks brand spanking new. Alright, so one thing I do want to modify on this steering wheel is the silver section with all of the buttons on it. Since my car doesn't have any of these functions, these buttons are pretty much useless, so we're just going to spray paint it all black and make it blend in with the rest of the interior. And to take these off, you just need a screwdriver and take off all of the screws and it pops right out. And then on the back of this piece, there's going to be 3 tiny little screws that you got to undo, and when you take them out, this little plastic cover is fully removable. Some of the buttons will fall out, so just be careful and don't lose them. Not really fond of the silver on black combo, so yeah, let's get this thing all one color. I'm gonna go ahead and grab me some 400 grit sandpaper and scuff this panel up. We're just gonna scratch it up a little bit so that the spray paint can adhere properly. And I'm just gonna spray it down with some black spray paint that I had left over. Nothing fancy, just something to get the job done. I kinda wish I had a flatter black. This one's a little too shiny for me, but you know, it works. Alright, here's what it looks like before we spray painted it. Damn, here's how it looks now. Yo, this thing is sick. All it's missing is a Honda badge. And you know what? I think you can swap it out with the JDM or European airbag if you really wanted to keep it OEM. Alright, so now it's time to install. So what we gotta do now is take off the original steering wheel. It's gonna be the exact same steps that we did at the junkyard. And oh, check out that flip. But yeah, I'm gonna grab me a flathead, my sockets, and a wrench. Oh, and some of you guys were asking me if the Prelude seats sat lower than the Civic ones, and they most definitely do. My short ass, I gotta scoot it all the way up and sit completely upright just so I could drive properly. But nonetheless, I still fuck with these seats. They both look good and feel good while you're driving. Oh, and I forgot to mention, make sure you disconnect your battery and drain all of the power from the car before even doing this. But yeah, take out the screws, unplug these clips, and you're good to go. Now the center nut for the Honda Civic, I believe it's a 19mm, and you'll be reusing this original nut instead of the TSX one. And just as a quick tip, go ahead and screw that nut back on halfway so that when you're trying to pull off the steering wheel, it doesn't fly off and come smacking you in the face. And there we have it. We've got our steering wheel removed, and now it's time to swap it out with the TSX one. And before we fully swap it out, we've got to figure out this airbag situation first. The one for the TSX is actually a dual stage airbag, which means that they deploy at one of 2 rates depending on the severity of the crash. And so because the Honda Civic only uses a single stage airbag, we got to somehow figure out a way to connect these two. And so if we take a closer look at the Civic airbag, we can see that we've got 2 red wires that connect from the pins all the way up into the plug, which actually cross over each other when the airbag is facing upright in the correct position. And if we take a look at the TSX airbag, the red wires are configured the exact same way. So I'm thinking we cut these in half and solder them together exactly how they are, thus turning this into a plug-and-play airbag. And by the way guys, I'm no way by any means a Honda tech, so if this goes completely wrong and ends up blowing up in my face, please don't do what I'm doing. I don't want to be responsible for your safety. I'm simply just being the test dummy for you guys. I haven't seen any write-ups or tutorials on putting a TSX steering wheel inside of a Civic, but my logic here is that it should be the exact same process as if you're wiring up an RSX steering wheel airbag into a Civic, which there's plenty of write-ups on that. But anyways, here we have the original Civic plug that we're about to hook up into the TSX airbag. And just real quick, I'm just going to plug this in to make sure that I have this oriented the correct way so I don't mix up the wires that I'm about to connect. And as you can see here, when we turn it around, it has a specific shape to it. You want that wider end to be facing upward. And right here, we're simply just twisting and connecting the wires together. And check it out, this is how it looks all wired up together. Exactly the same as the original wiring, with the pins connected inversely. And before soldering them together, I actually forgot to put some shrink wrap on, so let's do that first and then get to soldering. Alright, and there we go. The wires are all tight and snug. And then you just want to wrap it up with some electrical tape so it's nice and neat. Now these wires are for the buttons that we won't be using, so I'm just going to rip these out and throw them in the trash. Alright, now it's finally time to throw this thing in. You just gotta feed these wires through and it should hook up no problem. I had a feeling that this would fit inside of the Civic since this and the RSX steering wheel are interchangeable. And would you look at that? I was right. Now we just gotta bolt it in, plug it up, and we're all set. Oh yeah, guys, before taking off the steering wheel, make sure you have the wheels straight and aligned beforehand. This plug-in for the horn should hook right up. And then next we have the airbag clip. I'm just fucking with y'all. I don't even have the battery plugged in right now. And then just wrapping up the horn plug-in with some electrical tape. The plug for the airbag sits behind and underneath the steering wheel, so just stuff that in right in there and then the airbag should fit in properly. Alright, all that's left is to replace the little panels and the screws, and we got ourselves a new steering wheel. And for these, make sure you have a retractable magnet on you in case they fall inside of the steering wheel. Oh my goodness, y'all, man, this thing looks so freaking sick inside of this car. Check it out, guys, we finally have a new steering wheel. Man, let's hop in and give it a little test drive. Yo, get the fuck out the way. Guys, I can't believe how good this looks inside of the car. Yo, I'm so happy that I found a steering wheel option for the Civic. But as you guys know, this actually wasn't my first choice. I was mainly looking for an RSX steering wheel or a Honda Fit steering wheel. You know, after searching for months, it was just no luck for me. So I went ahead and settled for this TSX steering wheel. But man, I think this works just fine. Yeah, let me know what y'all think about this steering wheel. I think I'm the first one to do this. Alright boys, final test. We're gonna swap this battery in and see if it blows up. Please, car gods, I pray that this doesn't blow up in my face. I think we're good. And look at this, guys. The SRS light isn't even lit up on the dash, so we must have done this correctly. But yeah, guys, like always, I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm probably gonna be out there looking for CRV parts. I don't know yet, whatever comes my way. But make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz. It really helps my channel. I'll see y'all soon for episode 7.